Hey you guys, it's me, Chris Colley. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the city of Rochester Hills, Michigan. And I'm going to share with you today the second half of my Happy Mail class. This is a class that comes to you in the mail, and I'm adding it on to my August and September schedules because I am very excited to be on a track where I'm going to be earning the incentive trip from Stampin' Up! To Costa Rica next year. So what's going to happen is on the last Tuesday of the month and the last Friday of the month, I will share 2 cards each time with you that will be available for a class in the mail. You will have these videos or lives to refer back to, and your class is going to consist of a half a pack of the Spooktacular DSP and a half a pack of the Frightfully Fun DSP and a pack of the goats and bats and dots accessories, along with prepared products for you to make 4 cards. In this one, you can add on an additional die cut packet for $5 that will allow you to make another set of these cards. So these are the 2 cards that we made on Tuesday. This one uses the sparkly stripe paper, and there's some glitter with the wink of Stella on my little spider web there. There's some bats, a little blue, and then we have the dots from that accessory pack. And then this one is the skeleton, and this is part of the Spooktacular Designer Series paper. So here, these are the bats, dots, and ghosts. I guess they're bats, ghosts, and dots. So you have some black dots, some white dots, and then these tiny little ghosts, which I think are so adorable, and little bats too. So you'll get a full pack of that, those accessories, and you will also get a half a pack of this Spooktacular 6x6 paper. This pack has 48 pieces in it, so you're going to be getting 24 pieces of paper. It is 2-sided paper. I've used up most of this, so there's going to be an image like we did the skeleton here. This one's Frankenstein, and then the backs of them are all striped. So you have this kind of monster one, and then it's a skeleton. I think the other one is a ghost. So there are like 4 little faces in each pack, and then they're striped on the back. And so you will get a quarter or a half a pack of that, again, which will be 24 pieces of paper. And then you're also going to get a half a pack of this. This is the Frightfully Fun DSP. So it has some images, some little bats, some swirlies. Those are ghosts, bats, and cats. Some of the orange stars, some colored ones. Some of these, if you have the bundle, some of these animals you can cut out with your dies. They have coordinating dies to them. So lots of fun papers in here, and you're going to get one of these double-sided sheets of each of these DSPs. So, and the other things we're going to be using are the Web of Fun bundle, which is this one here, which I think this little spider is adorable. But I love that it has the word dies to it also. This is where you're going to get the spider web die. You have 2 little spiders. This one will coordinate with some of the DSP and then the stamp set also. So it'll go ahead and cut out some things from the stamp set. And then you have that cute little banner, the word boo. So these are really cool dies. And this class is kind of perfect for somebody who doesn't do a lot of Halloween cards, so they don't want to invest a lot of money in Halloween stamps. And then this is the other one called Oh My Fright. And again, your bundle has this really spooky tree in it. and some bats and ghosts and all kinds of really fun things for you to make scenes with. And these will cut out images from your designer series paper too. So lots of options with this one. All right, let's jump in and get started on the last 2 cards in this class. And I will include the dimensions here just because you're going to refer back to this as kind of your tutorial for this. Oh my gosh, I forgot my little utensil goodie bag. Hold on one second. Can't believe that. Here I go. Had to get all my adhesives and all those good things. Okay, so we're going to start with the inside. This piece of paper is basic white, 5 by 3.5. And I do that to maximize my white cardstock because I can cut it at 5.5 on the 8.5 inch side and still have 3.5 inches. So I get 1 extra piece out. This piece is 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. And this is going to be the inside of our card. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. Get it centered right in there. This is how your class in the mail is going to come, your little Happy Mail class. I love Happy Mail, so I'm excited to be able to share that with you. And again, this is the flip side. I think that's so cute. That little ghost is sticking his tongue out. That's just adorable. So this one, we're going to layer. It is 5 1/4 by 4, and that's just going to be our top layer. And that's just your average, your piece of basic black cardstock is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and the long side is scored at 4 1/4. So your typical second layer on top of that is going to be 5 1/4 by 4, which this one is. So I've taken a piece of basic black cardstock and I've added some adhesive paper to the back of it, and that is just going to make it sticky. Because this one is so thin, the die is so thin and intricate, I find that that sticky paper is the way to go. If you prefer using liquid glue or whatever your go-to adhesive is, you can use that. Your kit, however, will come with the sticky paper on it, the adhesive on it, and you will have to add the wink of Stella to the top of it if you want it sparkly. I've also added the adhesive sticky paper to the word Halloween, and if you order the extra die cut packets, it will include 2 of the Halloween and the web. You're just not going to get the cardstock for your second set of cards, so you will have to add your cardstock for that. So I'm just kind of peeling this sticky off there, and then I'm going to put this over towards this side of the card. So it's going to go over towards my right side. I'm going to stick that end down, and then I'm just going to kind of lay this on there without really pressing it until I make sure that it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a little smoosh there. I have 2 spiders. And again, I've used the sticky strip on the back of these. And I think I'm going to just put that one on there. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Happy. So, and this one again has the sticky strip on it, or the adhesive paper. And I find that I can usually peel that up with my fingernail. But if you can't, you can always use your take your pick tool. I'm going to kind of put this one in here. So we got that nice happy Halloween. This does have a die that matches it, but rather than get my machine out, and when you order your card, you're gonna get this piece of paper, but I will not be die cutting it. So you're gonna have to go ahead and cut out and stamp this bat on your extra card. The card that you get will, the regular card class without the die cut add-on will include this little piece of paper so you can stamp your bat on it. And you can always add an extra spider in here if you didn't get the stamp set and just have the dies. You can just add an extra spider in there without having to worry about buying the whole bundle. These die cuts are just so cute. I was gonna just get one Halloween stamp set, but oh my gosh, these, between the spider web and the tree and that little smiling spider, I was done for. I had to get them all. I did a tag. I'm actually doing a class at the retreat using the Oh My Fright, and so I had to do a tag with the little moon and the tree and the ghost. It turned out so cute. But again, heavy on those adorable die cuts. Okay, this I want my bat wings to kind of stick up. So I'm just going to take my scissors closed and put them behind my wing, put my thumb on the top of that, and just kind of give it a little bit of a curl. And I'm going to put a little dimensional on the back of it. In fact, I'm going to use a white one. I was thinking about using my black ones there, but I think I'm going to use 2 little mini glue dots on this one. And I don't have my laptop set up, so when I'm done, I'll come back and reply to your comments. My laptop is actually updating right now, so I'm hoping that I'm going in the right direction and I'm on the right page and all of that good stuff. I'm going to put this one kind of over here, but I am going to add my other little spider before I put it down, so I have some idea about placement. And you could, kind of put them on there before you take the sticky back off, so you get the placement and everything. I'm just going to kind of wing it here. There we go. I'll press my little bat down. I actually think I want them kind of at more of an angle like that. Okay, and then I have my 3 little dots. They're just little black plastic dots. And I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them around the front of my card. That one got stuck. I think I want that a little bit closer. There we go. And then this one I'm gonna put over here by my bat. See if I can get it stuck everywhere but on my paper. Okay, and then I have one more little spider that we're gonna add to the inside of our card. Sometimes I think the inside of our card is like a little bit of a surprise fun for whoever gets it. Isn't that cute on the inside? Super easy, right? And you can see the only thing that's been stamped on here is that bat. And you can easily take this spider out and put him on the front and not do the bat at all if you don't have that stamp set. So you can make it work lots of different ways. And this is the other one we're going to do. Isn't this cute? I love those bats. Those bats are die cuts, and they're like in a little string of 3. And when you take them out, their eyes pop out. So they look like the dimensional behind them makes them look like they have white eyes, which I think is really cool. So let's pop on that one. I'm going to start with a piece of a very vanilla cardstock. This happens to be the extra thick, very vanilla cardstock. We don't have that anymore, and I don't really know that it's that important, especially for this card, because we are going to put a lot of layers on top of it. So since the inside of our card is already the very vanilla, I'm not going to add another piece to it. I'm just going to put this piece of designer series paper on the inside of it. And you get, in this pack of paper, you'll get a piece that is this orange swirly with like the little stars and swirls on it. And you'll also get a piece of black that is that same kind of pattern with the swirls and the stars on it. Okay, then we're going to take, I'm sorry, this one is 1 inch by it's 1 inch by 4 1/4. And then this piece of paper is going to cover the entire front of our cardstock. So it is going to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And when you get your designer series paper, it will not be cut. You will have full sheets of paper. So you will need these to refer back to this video to see how to cut, what sizes to cut your paper. And I do that so that you have the choice of using whichever pattern that you want to use. You may not want to use this piece of designer series paper for the back of it. You may want to use something else. All right, this piece is 3 5/8 by 4 5/8, and then this one is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So your DSP for this is going to be cut at 3 1/2 by 4 1/2 inches. And we're just going to put it right on top of this piece, and I'm going to get it right in the center. You really only have 1/8 of an inch to play around with, so you want to be sure you get it right in the center. And then this piece is 1 1/4 by 3 5/8. So you want it to be as long as your black piece there. So it's 1 1/4 by 3 5/8. And I'm going to leave just that little black part at the bottom showing. So it's going to go from side to side with just that black piece at the bottom. So it'll look like this. I have already stamped my trick or treat on vanilla. I'm going to mount it on a piece of black. And I did use pumpkin pie for that. And my black piece is 2 1/2 by 3/4. And my vanilla piece is 2 1/4 by 1/2. And I'm just going to mount those one on top of the other. I'm going to put them just a little bit off center towards my right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little ghost guy, and I did stamp him and then die cut him out. You will have images on your paper, your DSP that you get, so that if you don't have this stamp set, you could, for instance, fancy cut some of the ghosts from this paper and use them in place of this ghost, stamped and printed ghost. I cannot send you stamped images, so you will have to replace things from your DSP to make these if you don't have that stamp set. I'm going to put this guy up on some dimensionals. I actually have this piece cut from the last time we were here, so I'm going to use that one. And just kind of put it right in there. I'm going to put it so it hangs over just a little bit on this edge here. And then I'm going to take my bats. I'm going to do the same thing with them and just kind of curl up their wings a little bit. If you don't want to use your scissors for this, you can put them on there flat. You can kind of curl them up with your fingernail. Lots of different opportunities for you to make these cards yours. Especially for like this background, you can use any part of the DSP that you wanted to. So you can see by my sample and by this one that there's different pieces of the tree showing in each one. So you have lots of opportunities, like I said, to kind of make it what you want it to be so that it's a reflection of you and you can choose different DSP to put on there. So you can see how that, the little dimensional behind there makes it look like his eyes are white, which I think is kind of cool, because if you just put them, and it doesn't really matter where you put these, you just, again, it's kind of your preference and where you like them. If you don't want to use a dimensional, my little bat got stuck there. If you don't want to use the dimensional, you're going to kind of get that, the gray eye look, if you can see the difference there. And I kind of like the dimensional with the white eyes, so let's get these guys on here. This is such a fun class. I love to decorate for Halloween, and like I said, I have a big retreat coming up when I've been working on some of those things, so we may even end up, I have a display table that I'm putting things on, but I may just end up with a design for my trick-or-treaters, like a little bag topper with these fun die cuts. Wouldn't that be fun? Have little bat die cuts and a little on top of a little candy bag. I think that would be adorable. All right, here we go. And I'm going to put this backing piece on without any dimensionals, but you can certainly add dimensionals to it if you wanted to. I'm going to add it, you can add it right in the middle of your page if you want. I'm going to add it over towards my right edge. So it's going to look like that. And then I have one little bat left here that I'm going to put on the inside. This little bat still has one eye. And I am not a glue person, so I'm going to put him on with some glue dots. Usually that inside part falls out when I'm taking him out of the die. So you shouldn't have to punch it out, but you can punch it out. You can leave it in too if you want him to have little black eyes. I'm just putting dimensionals, glue dots on the backs of his wings. On the back of his wings, there you go. And I'm just gonna put them kind of up in there. Isn't it fun? I like it. So I will be sharing some of the alternates that we made. I used some, obviously for this one, I used some different designer series pieces in the back. This one I think I did the same. Yep. And then these I did a different designer series paper in the back. So I'll post some pictures and share some of the alternates with you. And again, the cost of mailing this class right to your door is $35. You're going to get a half a pack of this 12 by 12 Frightfully Fun designer series paper, as well as a half a pack of this Spooktacular designer series paper, and then these gorgeous fun bats, ghosts, and dots. And the $35 includes mailing right to your door. And if you want an extra pack of the die cuts, you will get the die cuts to make all 4 cards one more time. So for this one, you would get 4 spiders, because we have one on the inside, and the word boo. I'm not going to be die cutting your designer series paper, so you'll have to cut a little banner for that. For this one, you'll get your little bat there, and this one you'll get 3 spiders, because we have one on the inside of your card, and you're happy in your Halloween. And for this one, you'll get 4 bats, 3 on the outside and 1 on the inside. So that's what you're gonna get when you order the extra die cut pack. And again, you'll have enough to make all 4 cards over again. You have to sign up for the card class by August 7th, which is this Friday. I will put my order in on Monday the 10th, and as soon as your orders come back to me from Stampin' Up, I will split your product up and get your kits in the mail to you. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for stepping in. Bye-bye.